Nebraska. Nebraska finished 4-8 last year, 3-6. They fired I just said his name earlier, Scott Frost. Fired Scott Frost, long time coming, I believe. Scott Frost, a long ways from that UCF team that were undefeated and claimed themselves to be national champions. Now, new head coach Matt Rule, which again, shout out. I called that hiring, so this is one give myself a little pat on the back. But anyway, they transferred Jeff Sims, transfer quarterback from Georgia Tech. They lost Trey Palmer to the NFL. They lost Delonte Brown to MSU. They do get Eric Gilbert, the tight end from Georgia, who's been having a crazy journey in college football. Quentin Newsom returns, one of my favorite corners in the conference. One of my favorite corners in the conference. They do have Anthony Grant returns at running back. They returned a lot of starters from defense, and they had the 68th passing defense. Go ahead. I'm going to start with you. I'm going to start with Ty. Go ahead, Ty.
Well, they got Billy Kemp from UVA. They had a great recruiting class and a great transfer class this year, so something to watch for.
All right. Go ahead, Trent.
Yeah, I agree with Ty. A ton of transfers on that team. So you think Colorado brought in a lot of transfers? You should go see how many transfers Nebraska brought in. I think Matt Rule is going to get that program turned around. He's inheriting a program way better than Scott Frost was. So as far as turning it around, I don't think they have to necessarily do that as much as they just have to build on what they have and establish. He brought in the offensive coordinator, Satterfield from South Carolina, and defensive coordinator, Tony White from Syracuse. So 3 coaches that have come from winning places in the last few years, trying to build that program back up.
All right, and go ahead, Coach.
As you said earlier, Matt Rule is a great college head coach. So I think going to Nebraska is gonna be perfect. It's a organization where it's a win now, but more so, if they can win with 9, if they have 9 wins on the season, 8 wins on the season, that's a happy school, because that means they're in the upright direction to get to that 10, 11 win bracket, maybe a year or 2 out from that 9 win season. I like the hype for Nebraska. I do agree. I know people are paying attention to all the transfers just because Deion's going to be the new head coach over Colorado. But I agree. Nobody paid attention to all of the transfers that wanted to go to Nebraska. So I have them.
Hold on. I was about to say, save your record. Save your record.
No. Yeah, I have them as above average from last year. A lot better than last year, quite honestly. Like a little above the middle of the pack. Depending on how things go, injuries, stuff like that. If they can, have a clean season, they could fight for a good bowl game this year.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what Matt Rule does with Jeff Sims. Jeff Sims so dynamic, great on the ground. He has a decent arm. And like you said, turned around Baylor, turned around Temple. I'm excited to see what he does with Nebraska. So we're going to hop into the schedule. I had the 31st overall recruiting class. As previously stated, they start at Minnesota, and I gave Nebraska the W. Go ahead, Ty.
It's all against who again?
Minnesota.
I got Nebraska.
Go ahead, Trent.
I have Minnesota.
And Coach.
Nebraska.
And then speaking of Colorado, second game of the season is at Colorado. Shout out to Deion. I don't know if they're there yet, so I have Nebraska coming away with the W. Go ahead, Ty.
I have Colorado.
Go ahead, Trent.
I have Nebraska.
And Coach.
This is 2 new head coaches coming in a sense. So one of them got to get the dubs. I'm gonna give it to Colorado.
Well, Matt Rule is, I guess,
I know he's been there before.
This is his realm.
Real, yeah, it is.
All right. So from Colorado, we have back home to Northern Illinois, and I have Nebraska. Go ahead, Ty.
I have Nebraska.
Trent.
Nebraska wins.
And Coach.
Nebraska.
All right, from Northern Illinois, we have Louisiana Tech, and I have Nebraska winning that game as well. Go ahead, Ty.
I have Nebraska.
Trent.
Nebraska.
And Coach.
Nebraska.
Then from Louisiana Tech, we have at home versus Michigan, where previously stated I have Michigan taking the W. Go ahead, Ty.
Michigan.
Trent.
Michigan.
And Coach.
Michigan.
From Michigan, we have at Illinois, where I have Illinois taking the L, Nebraska taking the W, as previously stated. Go ahead, Ty.
Nebraska.
Go ahead, Trent.
Illinois.
And Coach.
Nebraska.
All right, from Illinois, we have Northwestern at home, where I have Nebraska taking the W. Go ahead, Ty.
Nebraska.
Trent.
Nebraska.
And coach.
Nebraska.
From Northwestern, we have at home versus Purdue. This is another one of those games where the unexpected happens. For that reason, I have them taking an L to Purdue. Go ahead, Ty.
I have Nebraska.
Trent.
I have Nebraska.
And coach.
Nebraska.
I'm finally lone wolf after like 18s. I'm finally lone wolf. I take it. From Purdue, we have at MSU, and as previously stated, I have MSU taking a W. Go ahead, Ty.
MSU.
Trent.
MSU.
And coach.
MSU.
From MSU, we play, well, not we, but they play Maryland at home, and I have them taking the W at Maryland, as previously stated. Go ahead, Ty.
Nebraska.
Trent.
Losing to Maryland.
And coach.
Can't remember if I had Maryland winning this game or not.
Oh, let me track mine. I have Maryland winning on mine.
Go ahead.
I think I have Nebraska winning.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
From
with
Maryland.
Nebraska.
From Maryland, we go to at Wisconsin. On the road, I have Wisconsin taking the W. Go ahead, Ty.
Wisconsin winning.
Trent.
Wisconsin.
And coach.
Wisconsin.
From Wisconsin, we finished the game. We finished the season at home versus Iowa. Like I said, slobber knocker every game. Give me Nebraska, as previously stated. Go ahead, Ty.
Give me Iowa.
Trent.
I have Nebraska.
And coach.
Iowa.
All right. With that being said, I have Nebraska actually flipping the record from 4-8 to 8-4, 5-3 in conference play. Oh, excuse me. It should be 6-3 in conference play. Making them bowl eligible. Go ahead, Ty.
6-6, 4-5, bowl eligible.
Go ahead, Trent.
6-6, 3-6, going to the bowl for the first time since 2016.
Hold on. It's 5-4, 8-4, 5-4 in conference. And coach.
7-5.
All right.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.